Dun 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 dun.
I don't know. My dad changed a bit on my young brother and I, because my older brothers, he would actually tell them to lie down.
What, and whip them?
And whoop them. Like they would lie down facing.
And you? How would you?
We would run around the room. He would always call like
Must have been a lot of exercise for your dad, though.
Yeah, I think he wanted the workout out of it. So my young brother and I
don't think he wanted the workout. It's crazy.
My young brother and I, he would lock the bedroom door, put the key in his pocket, and then do the run around the bedroom.
He would lock the door,
lock the bedroom door, then
we're going anywhere.
What would he whip you with?
And funny thing is, my dad only ever whipped me for the same reason,
which was
the whipping was always after, and the only time I ever got whipped was between grade 2 and grade 7.
What
always after open day.
When he went to your school?
Went to the school.
And he met your teachers?
Met the teachers.
And they told him how much of an ass you were.
The bad boy.
Well, not really that. It was mostly, this guy's always talking, always disturbing friends. And my dad, for some reason, thought the other guys are not getting any class because of me.
Because of you.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting any lessons in because of me. So I'd get a whooping. Next open day, same thing. I think what my parents should have realized.
Would you begin to behave towards open day and hoping that would erase all the fuck-ups you had done prior to
No, but then again, I think the teachers would write down like a weekly report. So I'm sure at the end of the term, they would have like an accumulated
behavior report.
Behavioral report, you know what I mean?
Hey, wait, how was the open day at your school? Would you have various teachers for various subjects speak to your parents?
No. Primary school is just one teacher.
Yeah, one teacher.
You guys had various teachers for primary school as well?
Yeah.
Every subject had its own teacher?
Well, not every, but you'd have one anchor teacher who would teach most, and then you would have one or two that would...
Yeah, we had home, who used to call it home economics.
Right, yeah.
I mean...
Swimming as was same.
Yeah, you're the same, yeah?
Yeah.
Which primary school you had?
Elim.
I know Elim. Where's that?
Yeah,
get your guy.
Are we rolling? Before I get carried away with the charming stories, wait.
It makes sense that this guy's gets away.
Wait.
Makes a lot of sense.
Right there.
Bleep you?
Wait.
I'm not waiting for nothing.
Wait, look for the beep. Look for the beep.
And you, virgin?
Wait. Go on.
Bleep. Who was on the episode?
Oh, Joey.
Bruh, let me tell you.
And his manager.
And the freaking let me tell you, bruh. We sat here and we went through an hour and a half of a podcast. And I was wearing a jacket. And my jacket had the most weird posture. Like, it looked like somebody had been dragging me from the collar of my jacket, like it was hanging.
It looked like a retard.
None of these... You don't say retard anymore. None of these niggas ever say put your jacket down.
Wow.
For the hour and a half that we're here.
So you only saw it on the...
I only saw it when the episode came out. And then I asked this nigga here, and I said, nigga, you could not tell me to put my... It was like, oh, I didn't have my monitor. I'm like, do you have your eyes with you?
At least just said the sign just on
No. People dragged me in the comments.
Oh, God.
There was some chick who said, jacket.
She pronounced it like a true Zimbabwean.
Did you see it?
No, the jackety.
Yeah.
No, just for the one that said Elson looked like he's mentally disturbed. Because the jacket was there, like, he looked like...
No, I went.
How do I look?
Now I have to see it.
It's my Joey.
Leather jacket is hanging proper.
Okay.
I think those... What do you call those jackets again? Not a bomber jacket. What do you call last week? Baseball, whatever. Yeah, those when you sit, somehow they just tend to do that thing.
And did you see it?
When I watched the episode, yeah.
No, when we were talking.
No.
So what were you looking at when you were looking at me?
I don't know. why. I don't know. I can't even remember what my mind was that day.
Because I don't look like that every day, do I? Because it's not like you're used to me looking like that. Virgin, stop laughing. I don't know why you're packing in that corner there.
Fam, and welcome to today's episode. And first of all, big special shout outs to brothers
Bastards.
who make this episode and every other episode before this for the past, year and a month
There's
now.
change.
Yeah, no, they make these episodes possible. Special shout out to Sachin at Big Tree. A lot of you are wondering why we didn't have his episode. That we shall resolve and probably air the episode sometime in the near future.
I don't know why you're saying that, because ain't nobody wondering nothing.
No, you haven't been seeing the comments on Facebook, have you?
I have.
Yeah, so people have been wondering why we didn't have the Sachin episode. It's going to come one day. There's a few things that need to be, put to rest before we put that one up. Secondly, special shout out to everybody on that team. Brenda, what's the other girl's name? Barbara, I think.
Why do you do that?
Who else? Aisha left.
Is it why?
I know she's in Zimbabwe, right? Is it South Africa or Zimbabwe? She's moving to Zimbabwe. She moves to Zimbabwe.
She left?
She left. She actually.
So do you have any more white people left there?
No.
Yo, Nkosiyami. Why do you do that?
Why do I do what?
Mention people individually. Because do you know how it feels for the people that you've left out? I know it feels good when they're like, oh, we watched the episode.
Well, I'm mentioning people that work directly with us on this podcast.
Yeah,
the people directly involved.
There are people who work with us who we are going to forget.
And then there's Vincent. No. In fact, the people directly with us, Sachin and Brenda. The others just a plus. They show up once in a while. So shout out to those people. And at Techno, you want to give a shout out to Techno as well? And can you reduce the size of your logo, Gob? I know they're a sponsor, but they're taking up half the screen. Who? Techno.
Who are they?
Dude, you haven't seen the logo and Gob puts the Techno logo on the screen.
My jacket took up most of the screen in the last episode.
Anyway.
Yeah, big shout out to Techno. They're actually launching a new product.
I heard.
The Spark 40, I think. Hey, let me tell you something. Do you know, I recently found out that with this phone, what happened to the light?
Virgin kicked it.
Virgin.
Unkick it.
With this phone, do you know that multiple people can use the same device?
Or you open like accounts on the same phone.
So depending on the password that you put, it'll open a different profile.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you and your wife can use the same device. I know it's risky because you think, wait, so my photos are going to be stored in the same, but she doesn't have access to, it's the same hard drive, but then depending on the password that you put, it will open a different profile.
I swear we don't talk about this phone enough.
No.
There's like a new feature we discover every week.
Every week. It is incredible. And I just realized.
So it's like the way MacBook has user, guests.
Yes, precisely.
Oh, okay.
So you can have leisure, work, vacation,
home
profiles, home. So when you're home, you log into your home,
which has do not disturb and things like that because you're home.
and hides your photos. So you're home.
Jay Trigga, welcome to That's It podcast, bro.
Pleasure to be here.
Jay
Trigga to Techno.
Hey, man.
is it? Jay Trigga is a musician. He is a
Jake or Jay?
Jay, just Jay, and Trigga like
How
Trigga.
many musicians do we have with?
J Rocks, Jay
Yeah,
Trigga,
there's a bunch of them.
Jay Z
No, in Zambia.
in Zambia.
Don't
I know J Rocks.
why are you putting Jay in the same?
Is a J as well? What else do we have with the J in Zambia?
I think the Rocks. Who else?
Does your name have a J in it?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Jack.
Sparrow.
Yeah, JCK.
Just.
Yeah, just Jack.
That's a very white name.
I know. I know. No Jackson, no nothing. It's just Jack.
So this man,
Does Jack have a nickname? You know how like Robert has a nickname?
Rob is Bob, Richard is Dick,
Yeah.
William is Bill, Jack.
Which I never got, like William and Bill.
It's a very British.
Or even Richard and Dick, I didn't get. I don't know if Jack
Bill,
has.
I don't know.
Dude, welcome to That's the podcast.
No, pleasure.
You mentioned earlier you're from Kitwe.
Yeah, I was born in Solwezi, raised in Kitwe, like up to, let me say, grade 9. Huh? 8, 9, yeah.
Why are you sweating?
That's why I asked for the icon to come on. It was a bit of a hot
Yeah,
room
so I was there. I grew up there.
in Kitwe.
Riverside.
Oh, explains why you went to LM.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you moved. When do you move to Lusaka?
Lusaka around 2012. So,
Like in grade 10.
yeah, grade 10. So 2012.
Doesn't that make you feel old, son? Somebody was in grade 10 in 2012.
It does actually.
Mm.
Wait, greater than 2012?
Mm.
Like 2012?
Yeah.
the 2012.
Sheesh. Oh, how old are you?
I'm 26 now.
Man.
Yeah,
I can see the disappointment in your face.
Why? Because you're 20 years older than him?
38 years older than
Okay.
that's crazy.
Bruh.
So, in addition to music, this man also, with his father, they sell solar-related issues and a lot of electricals related to solar, right?
Yeah. That's energy center things.
Well, you see the guy with the photo, with the gadget in the photo that you sent to me yesterday?
Which photo did I send?
The guy with the
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's another guy. You know, Joel from Mace Technologies.
No.
Oh, because he sells solar, he knows everybody who does.
You better know your competitor, and their shops are like close by.
Really?
Close to each other. Dude, your musical journey, let's start from there before we delve deep into your solar.
Okay.
I've got questions about solar. I'll come to that in a bit.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You right now have probably one of the hottest songs in the country. You know that Nationality song you also? No. What's your nationality?
Yeah.
Tell us about your musical journey to start with.
I would say I've always loved music. You know, my dad, huge fan of music. So yeah, I would say I started around, I'd say professionally, 2019 was me just saying, okay, let me do this for real. But I've always loved it. Being around it. My mom used to host like a lot of parties.
Your mom used to host parties?
Just like for the area, she's a teacher. So you have these Christmas parties, and everyone in the neighborhood would just come through, and there would be the DJ playing the music and the like. So yeah, but I'll say professionally, I took it as a professional around like 2019, and that was only because I went to China for university, and when I went there, I think exposure as well, just being around different people of different cultures, and it just inspired me to like, okay, put my country on the map. Because funny enough, when you have conversations with people from different places,
They don't know where Zambia is.
don't know. They know about our music.
I bet they know South Africa and Nigeria.
For sure, and I was around a lot of Nigerians, hence the influence in the Afrobeats I make.
So like the guys that you used to chill used to make a lot of Afrobeats?
They'll play music, play so much of it, and
Right.
then they'll play a lot of it. And the guy that we started the label with is Nigerian, so I have like a Nigerian business partner as well.
Help me understand. I think I've got like a very vague understanding of the word label.
Okay.
Because in this country, I think the two words record label and recording studio are used interchangeably when they're two different things. You know what I mean? So which was yours? Was it just a recording studio? Do you have a record label, signed artist? What was the plan there?
In university, yes, it was just like a recording studio, which was basically my room. And we had like other people who used to come through and record. But now it's a team, I would say, obviously just surrounded by people who share the same vision.
But this was in China.
Yeah, it started in China, still going on. Even though it's just me and the guy from Nigeria right now.
He's in Nigeria right now.
Yeah, he's in Nigeria right now.
Oh wait, what were you studying in China?
My degree was petroleum engineering, and my master's was business management.
Petroleum engineering.
Yeah.
Is that just as it sounds? Like, is there more to it than just petroleum for 4 years studying the same liquid? What's the story?
Yeah. I mean, you talk about how to, get it from the ground, how it's transported as well. So petroleum engineering has geology in it, has chemistry, has physics. It's just like a group of sciences. Yeah, but the main thing you're studying is petroleum, getting it out the ground. And yeah.
Are you even practicing any of this right now?
No, not at the moment. Obviously, coming back to Zambia as well, around 2020, I was just like trying to finish my master's, which I was still finishing online. And then, yeah, just still figuring out. Who knows? I might still end up using it.
Dude, speaking of petrol and how the whole world is trying to move from petrol to EVs.
No, they're not.
No, wait. Like, especially the Western world, trying to convince us about global warming and how combustion engines are responsible for all this global warming and the likes. And then you look at how, especially America, they're like the biggest, what do you call them, advocates of us moving towards a green world where we're not using petroleum products and the likes.
They were until Trump came.
That's what I'm heading to, because there are a lot of organizations talking about how we should move away from combustion engines to EVs.
Yeah.
Well, until Trump came. And I sort of agree with Trump, because I think it's hypocritical when people like Elon Musk come and talk about how we all need to move to EVs because there's pollution from vehicles. But then you look at the production of lithium batteries and how much pollution there is to it.
Yeah.
And how much it affects the environment. You know what I mean? I really think Elon Musk and them are playing a very hypocritical game, if you know what I mean. But
At the end of the day.
So now EVs, is it really about saving the environment, or is it about more about control?
More about what?
Moving the world from using fossil fuels to EVs, or should I say batteries. Is it more about saving the environment, or is it more about control? Because with the electric gadgets, they can control the world, basically. You know what I mean?
Not really. My assumption is it's the former. Regardless of the pollution that the lithium does, I don't know how much worse it could be given the pollution that combustion engines create.
Wait, you don't know what?
The comparison that you made,
right,
of the detriment that lithium brings to the environment. I don't know how much significant it is compared to combustion engine.
But then again, I think this is also Trump's argument. How do we know how much of that emission is actually spoiling the environment? You know what I mean? He's brought up that argument like 1,000 times.
We do know. In fact, when I was at ICA, I met a gentleman from South Africa who works for an organization. I forget his name. We're going to have him on the podcast. They essentially can predict how global warming is going to impact a certain country and at what stage and how. So if there's going to be a drought, if there's going to be fires, etc.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's based in Cape Town. So they came here. They were actually investors. And they did predict the drought that Zambia was going to face. And they did reach out to the government. So they work with different governments, those that will listen, and tell them precisely the trajectory that your country is heading to based off your emission. And if you don't curb certain things, what will happen the next year, next 5, next 10 years.
What organization is this?
I will tell you in a second. He gave me where's my wallet? He gave me his business card.
Emissions from and forgive my ignorant question.
Do you know, before, as you think of your question,
right?
Do you know one of the biggest or leading causes of emissions and global warming? Cow farts. Don't dare argue with me, because every single time you've argued with me,
lizards and sucking cow tits.
I promise you, cow farts are deadly.
They can cause global warming.
They make a significant impact. Google it.
How significant is this?
Wait, hold on. Let him Google it.
And
tell me what you come up with.
All right, cow farts and global warming.
Yeah.
Dude, did you study this in uni?
No,
never heard of it as well.
Because now you're gonna make me sound like I'm lying again. Is it
learn something every day?
Oh wow. Yes, cow farts and belches, so just cows burping.
It's a lot.
Contributes to global warming by releasing methane, a potent greenhouse gas. While not the primary driver of global warming, it's not. Methane significantly impacts the climate and livestock, including cows, are a major source of human-related methane emissions.
Did you say it was significant?
What the hell?
Y'all don't listen to me because I'm short. I come on this podcast and I educate you every single week.
You were asking me how the production of lithium can actually be compared to the emissions from combustion engines. I was listening to What was this? It was on the Joe Rogan podcast a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how lithium could just be as bad as emissions from vehicles, the production process. And he was giving examples of how they're doing it in South America, Congo, and how, to start with, it actually showed like photos of like dams filled with methane, how it's polluting water everywhere. It's affecting animals dying, plants dying as well. And also they need about 2 million liters of water just to produce 1 ton of lithium. Now, that water, when it cleans up, whatever process they use to produce the lithium, it goes back into the environment and contaminates. Yeah, and through the whole process, there's also global warming happening and blah, 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 blah. So whoever was saying we're trying to solve the problem of global warming by doing away with combustion engines, well, not really, because in the next, 50 to 100 years, we're having campaigns again against lithium and how it's contaminating and polluting the environment, you know what I mean? And causing global warming again.
And people are not really embracing EVs at the rate that we thought they would. To a point where right now in America, they are damn near being given away for free because nobody's trying to get EVs.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a direct
Have you driven one before?
No, not yet.
Experience?
Oh, I have actually.
Yeah?
I have. The Nissan one.
Okay.
The ones they park by Garden City. More, yeah.
Yeah, I have.
You drove one in Australia, right?
2 whole months, a Tesla.
I remember every time we would talk, you talk about how the pickup is so good.
It's fast.
Well, you know, when you drive a Tesla, you can literally tell that this car was designed by a nerd.
Okay.
The little quirks, you know, like when you want to charge the vehicle and you plug in you can use your voice command. Do you know the voice command to open the little latch? So you plug in.
I use the voice command as well.
Yeah, but do you know what you say? Do you know what the phrase is?
Elon Musk?
No. Open butthole. Are you going to Google it again, or do you believe me now?
Elon was behind.
Yeah, so you say open butthole and it opens the little charging thing.
So it's like a list of commands.
Yeah. You can change the horn into a fart.
Point.
Is that how you fart? Do you go ping when you fart?
Is it?
But yeah, it's one of the most incredible cars that I've driven.
Dude, but you lived in China for how many years?
6, I'd say 6.
What's the EV situation there like?
It's big.
And how racist are they?
Well, personally, I didn't experience it.
Did they want to cut your hair?
Yeah, in that regard, maybe, but not like blocking of opportunities and the like. Yeah, I mean, they were just surprised.
And they are light years ahead, right, in terms of what they do, their hustle.
The work ethic,
the
the discipline. If it's lunch, everyone's out for lunch.
Yeah,
teacher might be writing on the board, and immediately it's like lunch. You leave it. That's how serious they are.
I saw when there was the tariff war between Xi Jinping and Trump. Xi did not blink not once, regardless of what Trump threatened to do.
Yeah, because they know their power. They know how, they've been predicting these things. I've been seeing them coming.
Because he put like 125% tariff on China.
He got to damn near 200. And every time he hiked the tariffs, so did they.
Because who's going to live without China in this world? The world's factory, quite literally.
It's something that they've always pushed. The One Belt, One Road is literally how they take over territories, you know?
Here's the craziest thing
of
what you just said. There was a campaign, boycott China, that was now happening in America because of the war that was happening. Close to 1 million T-shirts were printed for that campaign, boycott China. Guess where they were printed?
So made in China.
I don't know.
And they run everything. Shops showing the fake Gucci's or I don't know that. Yeah, a lot of them just saying, don't even worry. This is where everything comes from anyway. Yeah,
dude.
But how was your experience in China?
Yeah,
would you live there?
Live, no. Home is home. But it's a good place for business.
Did you go to the Canton Fair?
I'm planning to go there this year.
So the 6 years that you were there, you never.
No. It was way far. It was down south. I was up north.
Oh, which city did you live?
I was in Shenyang,
Okay.
and Fushun, like cold side,
Okay.
very cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in Guangzhou, right?
Yeah, it happens in Guangzhou. Happens in I think this year it should be in Shenzhen if I'm not mistaken. This
It's okay. Let me know when you're going. I've got a friend that owns a hotel.
only.
What happens at the Canton Fair?
Oh my God, man!
And you find anything, and
Think of it. What are you passionate about? DJing, right?
Basically everything.
It is like
trade fair,
yes,
showgrounds.
but a million times.
Of course, it's China. It's going to be a
You
million
get all
times
your
better, a million times more interesting.
All your suppliers, like you're into mining, you're into tech, you're everything, and they also unveil their cutting edge technology. So there's stuff that they have
Some new stuff
that has not hit the market. They unveil it there. So if you go to the Canton Fair, you most likely will be exposed to stuff that is not on the market yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's an
amazing.
incredible opportunity.
Trust.
I always tell people, listen, do yourself a favor and it normally happens in April, right?
There's April and then October. There's one in October.
I think we should go.
We definitely should.
What podcasters in China are doing, and
We
Yeah,
actually
equipment, everything.
I'm sure China's going crazy with robotics right now.
Yeah, they're snapping. They've been snapping. I think
Yeah.
even just from the time I went there, they're already moving towards that that type of situation.
I told you how I went to what's that hotel next to Monday Hill?
Sarova.
And I was served by a robot.
Oh yeah, I remember you called me. Yeah.
Really?
I promise you.
They're moving.
Those are Indians though, right?
Sorry?
Those are Indians, yeah?
Yeah, Neil Kant. Yeah. Neil Kant. Yeah. The Indians. Yeah, or something of the sort. But what was it? I mean, if we're having robots in Zambia in 2025, what was the situation like in China when you were there with robotics and stuff?
I'd say just the way you order stuff, you know, your McDonald's there,
Mm-hmm.
everything's just like you just have to put it in and then go or collect.
You guys
Yeah.
still use cash there or
No,
WeChat?
most of it was correct. Most of it was WeChat and Alipay. So
What happened to him?
you have
I'm humbled by the government, bruh.
He's just quiet now.
Humbled.
who the
Jack Ma.
Jack Ma. Yeah, true. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, that was 20. If I'm not mistaken, 2019, 2020, when
There about.
he made too much noise and the government came and said, okay, you know what?
Chill. Yeah, but like everything there is digital, more especially like the payment system.
Yeah.
Cash, you don't really move with that. Everything's connected to your card, and your card's connected to WeChat, so it's like Airtel money. Essentially. Then, if you have that connected, you literally can pay with your face as well. Yeah.
Zanako convinced me to come back to them. So I went to Zanako and I signed up for private banking. Did you know that? I don't know if there's any other banks that are doing it now, but do you know that you can now use Apple Pay?
Serious?
Yes.
So just tap your phone where?
On the same point of sale machine that you tap your card.
But only for Zanako.
Only for Zanako private banking. The charges are still crazy, but then the functionality is there.
Huh. So like any point of sale Zanako.
You tap your phone.
Huh.
Solid. Yeah, we're moving. I like it.
So big shout out to Zanako.
Are they pay?
No.
They're about to pay for this, aren't they?
No.
Okay. But I know who to call for them to pay for this. Or an episode where we just talk about that. Like, good. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Dude, you were trending or still are trending, TikTok especially, for your Nationality song. And now an American artist has jumped onto the track. Before we get to that, how do you pronounce it? Rotimi?
Wait a minute. Wait one goddamn minute. I've been seeing Rotimi saying, it's you that he was talking about.
Yeah.
I swear to God, listen to me.
Me and my friend Larry.
I would not be surprised
Mm.
if I found out that Rotimi was being paid.
By this guy.
No, not by this guy. By the tourism agency
Mm.
to promote Zambia. Every third post that this guy makes, oh, I miss Zambia. Oh, here I was with the elephants. Someone take me back to Zambia. You have not been seeing that?
No.
Have you been seeing that?
See,
Gob.
yeah.
May you please just
Play clips.
take screenshots? No, they're like screenshots of that. No, it's okay. You can take the mic. But take the screenshots and post the screenshots. Including the cow fart thing.
He's really.
You want to put a
but
cow farting on the screen?
He loves Zambia. Honestly, though. He does.
Well, yeah, so back to Kalenga's
Yeah, no, I just wanted to understand the background, how you guys came up with all that, and
Okay.
you know.
So the song was already doing its thing organically, and shout out to the people from Kodu Crescents because they're the ones who brought him the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to understand the background of the song.
The song
Let's
itself.
start with the
okay,
song.
the
Where
original.
did that come from? Yeah.
The original, that's me and Ari. He's the other artist on the song. We've been working on like a joint EP for some time.
Right.
So we teased the first song, I think just 2 weeks before we teased Nationality. So we tried it, and then saw the reaction, and I'm like, okay, this is a good song, but I don't know if it's a lead. So we stayed late one day, mixing the rest of the songs, trying to see what else we can, put out probably as a strong lead. And we didn't feel anything. And then we said, okay, let's try to make some new music. So we made one song. After that one, we made the second one, which was now Nationality. So beat was played. Shout out to the guy that made it, Naz Rashid from Nigeria. That's where I get most of my
Right.
instrumentals and the like. So he sent a few out. Heard that one, and I kid you not, most of let me just say 45 to 50% of that song was just like off the top. I think that's why it's so easy.
How do you make music? What comes first, the beat or
Melody?
The melody comes first.
Melody.
And then at the back of that, you begin to create
words. Yeah, because with a melody, sometimes you can end up mumbling a word, and then like, okay, this is an actual word, and then you just try to work with that. That's how I do it.
And what type of? I want to create a beat for you.
Like you're not producing music?
Right now, I want to create a beat for him.
Okay. Afrobeat?
You don't have to be Afrobeat.
Yeah, that's what I work with. Yeah.
Okay. So wait, would you consider yourself a Zambian artist? Are you an Afrobeat artist? And but when I say Zambian, not by virtue of you being born in Zambia, but musically, would you say you're a Zambian artist? Would you say an Afrobeat artist? Where do you
say Afrofusion because it's a mix.
Okay.
It's a mix. I do Afrofusion, which is like the base is Afrobeats itself,
right?
Which is the originators, obviously the Felas and the like, and then the fusion is like what Burna Boy and the rest of them started doing, which was like a mix of R&B, flavor of some hip hop, and yeah. So even with that song, once I heard it, did the melody, then obviously jotted down a few of the words. To be honest, we just knew. So this is the one, but we didn't know how like huge it would be. But we knew like, okay, this song's special because we had a DJ in the place. I don't know if you know Naya B.
Yeah, I know Naya B.
Yeah. So she was there too. Right. She's like, I need to carry this to the club right now.
And she wouldn't have played at the club?
No, she didn't because we had to
master it
and the like, but she was one of the first people to get it. And yeah.
But what are you saying to people who maybe feeling like, okay, this genre of music is sounding more Nigerian, especially that you're using some Nigerian words on the song.
Yeah, true.
Do you feel that takes away from it being
a good song?
No, not necessarily. Because at the end of the day, when you're selling yourself out there, you're selling yourself as a Zambian guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's people already mistaking you for a Nigerian artist by virtue of you using some Nigerian words. You know what I mean? All the time. But what's the plan going forward? Are you going to sound Nigerian some more? Where are you going to fall? Like even when we're doing international awards, you're going to be put probably in the Nigerian category of some sort. You know what I mean?
I think Zambia is and has always been a melting pot of cultures. Even the Dunka we say is our sound is more reggaeton. I think heavily infused as a DJ, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've always been that, and it's as far as like even like from a political landscape or geographical. We're in the middle of everything.
Right.
So we've sheltered people from different places. So they come through and leave whatever they have. If it's the sound, if it's the language, if it's, you know. So for me, I've always looked at my music as a mix as well of like everything that I've, you know, experienced and the people I have. And then with Afrofusion, yes, I'm Zambian, 100%. And I don't make music to say I want this demographic or that demographic. I genuinely just make music that I love, you know, which is Afrobeats. And so when it comes to where to put me in categories, I think end of the day, I'm still Zambian. I'm just trying to find a way to find that balance now. Yeah.
It's not like an AI produced beat. One gets flagged with it. Okay.
That's jazz.
Dude, what's that now? Hey, over.
Yeah, that's jazz.
But you said you were going to produce a beat.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
You're playing as a jazz song, where?
it's jazz.
Yeah. So obviously what my ultimate goal would be is to find a way to blend everything.
Right.
You know, with like the Nigerian side of things, the Zambian side of things. Because at the end of the day, what I make is Afrobeats. I can't run away from the fact that it's not from here as well. It's for it to sound the way it sounds, you have to use the correct language or the correct melodies. Same as if you're doing dancehall, you can't use proper English. It won't really
Patois.
sound. Yeah, you need patois. So even for
Pidgin,
Afrobeats, you need the pidgin. But again, it's not just about putting I day here and make I. It's not about that. You need to also understand the way they use it, and that's where the advantage for me came from. Having a lot of like Nigerian friends, it became what I speak. I speak pidgin with them, and and it helped me get other collabos. You know, obviously people are knowing me from the Rotimi thing,
Right.
but I've worked with Ice Prince years ago, 2020. I think I did a song with Ice Prince
When you came back from China?
just before, because I came around COVID.
Wait,
Yeah.
how did that go? Nobody heard that song, did they?
That's the thing. I've been building mostly outside, you know, like
Right.
because of the way sonically the way I sound. So in Nigeria, it did a few things for me, and that's why I have an audience that's
Diverse.
yeah, and that's why I can't make music to say I need to just make it for here. No,
Like
No.
who?
sorry.
Like who? Who makes the music for just Zambia?
Setting a trap for the boy, aren't you?
Imagine that. I don't think so. I think everyone just makes music they love. So
But don't you feel maybe making music for Zambia in a way helps us build our own identity musically, which we can finally sell to the rest of the world? And I'll give an example of, say, maybe James Sakala.
okay, yeah, amazing artist that is.
Like, what do we want to collab with such a guy in order to
Yes.
give you that unique Zambian sound to export?
That's where I'm going now,
Right.
with what I'm trying to do. Because my whole idea is to, you know, build like I won't say a genre, but something that bridges that gap. Because like Afrobeats is what we also take in a lot in this country. So maybe something like a Afro Zambezi of some sort, you know, where we have the bones of like the originators, and then we mix it with our culture.
Call it Afro Lindula.
Afro Lindula, maybe.
Afrobeats with Super Lindula.
Afro beats synonymous to Nigeria because Afro isn't that
Yeah.
Africa?
Or I'd say like the people who carried the torch early on, because it's like Afrobeats is like Nigeria.
It's really a genre
Mm.
because it doesn't specify what type of genre it is. It's almost like descriptive, right?
Okay. I hear you.
Like, speaking
Beats
about a
from
region
Africa.
more than a genre.
Precisely.
Yeah, beats from Africa. But again, that the figureheads of it, when like people like Fela, you know, the people who started this whole movement, and they did it at a massive level, you know.
Yeah.
So it just became okay. This is something, and they've always made progress in that realm of things.
Did you see when you were in China?
Yes, I did, because I used to rap.
You used to rap?
Yeah,
Did
used to rap. So and because they love the American culture, the
who? The Chinese?
Chinese, they really love like the music.
Yeah.
So even just like as a black guy, and you're told, they'll automatically think you're basketballer. Yeah.
I'm sure that opened a lot of doors for you in America. Sorry, in China, sorry.
China,
Being the American.
being an MC, at events and the like. You know, sometimes they would even just pay you to come and hang out at the club, just look cool and chill and they drinks.
I'm sure that would work in your favor because I'm sure a lot of Chinese people can't tell the difference when you speak. They can't tell whether you're from Africa or
There's people
America.
who literally stay there now, and the whole identity is I'm American. But the guy says
Pulled it off.
guys from Cameroon. Guys from Cameroon.
Because they can't tell the difference.
He has the whole accent. He has the chains on. It just like follows the maybe like Rick Ross. And he just look like a superstar, and
And they'll call you to the club just
because
for
they're
the
already
aesthetic.
amused by the way you look. You know?
And you use that to your advantage, I guess.
Yeah, I did. I used to.
You say you're American?
No. I never used to say I'm American.
No, but
luckily, thank God for our accents. Sorry. No. I never said I was American at any
Serious?
point in time. Nah.
Okay.
I think it was just for them to listen to the way you speak. You know, when you come from like let's say up like the west, like the western side, you could tell. Like most of the people say, like the Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia.
Yeah.
Our English is just it flows.
Did you date a
easy.
Chinese woman?
Nah.
No, why?
Why not?
I don't know, man. Why didn't I?
No,
And I get that question a lot.
6 years, bro.
Imagine that. But I did go close enough. Say, what country is this? Russia.
You dated a Russian girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you got balls.
Would you date a Chinese girl?
No.
Why not?
I know, though. But they just love the way you see them, and in these rom-coms that they like, that's just how they behave. So you'd have to,
The way you see them in what?
in like these rom-coms they drop, these romantic movies they have, like that type of, you know, I won't say cleanliness, but like that. They would like
Would you date her?
hold my hand in the mall,
Oh, they're very.
like that type. Like
I thought Chinese people are very
Nah.
non-touchy kind of people. Like culture-wise, they keep their displays of affection indoors. No?
Not the ones I actually met. I said, to be honest.
I've never seen a pregnant Chinese woman. But
Yeah, it took some time for me to see one, to honestly.
Well,
But
apparently,
that was
my wife showed me a short clip
was
from
me.
TikTok. Some lady was saying when a Chinese woman is pregnant, they keep them indoors and
yeah.
you just get this treatment, like being spoiled for the whole 9 months, which is rare that you see them around.
Yeah,
Why?
that makes sense.
It's the culture. When you get pregnant, get spoiled. You're indoors, everybody brings things to you. They
just like you've never seen a baby pigeon before.
baby pigeon.
Yeah.
You only see big ones, eh?
See, exactly.
Yeah, you already see them already out there.
So they're also just being spoiled by their parents.
Or a brown car.
You know, another thing that's rare in this country. A Chinese man has beards.
True.
Yeah, I think genetically
It's not genetic, but they're able to grow a beard. I think it's just
some of them like
I need to ask one Chinese guy why you never see a Chinese man with beards in this country. You see them in the movies,
yes,
but not in this country. I've never met one in this country.
I mean not
one.
not too many.
Even that side.
Yeah, not too many.
Maybe Joe is what some
I
Chinese.
think it's a joke. I think it's like a genetic thing. I'd like to think so.
You never see a brown car either.
Brown car. Now that I've seen.
A brown car?
Brown car. I saw brown Vitz just yesterday.
No, you did not.
A brown Vitz, yeah.
No, you did not.
You will see a brown. Trust me. Be on the lookout tomorrow. You see a brown Vitz.
You never see a gay homeless person.
That's crazy.
Oh, gosh. We're recording. I'll call you in a bit. Yeah, okay.
Why didn't you just put them on speaker?
You want to talk to my wife? Hush, God almighty. Have you seen my wife?
Are you married?
No,
Are you dating?
no.
Would you?
What?
Well, why are you surprised?
I mean, I'm just thinking with all this fame that's currently, you know, like people just throwing themselves at you right now.
Yeah, no.
People, you can specify. I don't
Like females just throwing themselves at you right now.
Yeah,
No?
no, they are.
They are.
Yeah.
But what are you doing with that fame and people throwing themselves at you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to focus right now.
On
So no female that has thrown themselves at you has ever intrigued you. Like, you know what?
Yeah, no, that obviously there's, you know, yeah,
So
that would be interesting.
So have you gone ahead with it?
Okay, not post the song, but like prior to it, just like 2 weeks before. 2 weeks before this.
Tell me the
pivot.
craziest fan encounter that you've had.
I found someone with my face as the DP.
Have there been any that have thrown panties at you?
Not yet.
they're expecting what? They're expecting what?
Now, he asked me about the panties. So I was-
Oh, right.
What did you say though, Bob?
He's expecting panties to be thrown.
Oh, he's expecting. Just disclaimer: no torn underwear or those with holes in them,
I'll make sure everything's correct.
and clean.
Yeah, please.
Because can you imagine an STI infested panty?
That's crazy.
Why do you have to go that far? Picked up from Salaula.
He doesn't have anyone that's on that
I
crazy.
said, what is an issue? Isn't water an issue where you live? I don't know why you guys are like, this is Zambia, guys.
It's a serious situation. Yeah.
You wait until like your laundry piles up for you to do the laundry at once.
Yeah, but I saw that happen to Rema, because when he was here like a couple of years ago, he actually
He had a dirty underwear thrown at him.
No. Just like bra, I think it was like 2 bras or something.
And he complained about it?
Yeah, nah, I mean, by now, global superstar, I think he's used to it.
Because do you see like Asha and the rest of them, like when panties are thrown on stage, some actually pick them up and put them on their shoulder or on their face, and I'm like, you niggas are brave. Because listen, for you to do that in Zambia, you would need SES, Prudential. Give me another good year this year. You said what? Man, they said all working together.
Nah, it can't be that bad.
All working together, but
It can't be that bad.
Wait, you said that when you discovered, when that young girl showed you, this is a lady, right?
Yeah.
Showed you her DP, that was before Nationality.
No, I was saying that was like he asked about the fan moment. That was
Oh, right.
okay. This
So that's happened recently after the blow
Yeah.
song.
yeah,
But I'm sure it got even worse when Rotimi.
yeah. And
posted
the thing
you-
about that was my phone was actually off that day.
Tell us about that day.
Yeah, so
Which
we were
day?
in the studio the day he posted it, looking for us, and they're like, yeah, we're in the studio.
Zesco wasn't it? Load shedding.
Not even. I think that day, that was like should have been a Friday. I was just tired. I was just tired. One of those days that you turn things off. And then there was a video, and he was saying, "Oh, I need to know who these guys are." But Ngu had already like kind of hinted like, "Yo, this guy loves the song."
Who's Ngu?
Ngu, he's from Kudu Crescent.
Right.
Yeah, so the guys that brought him the first time. So I think he showed him the song, and then he loved the song.
Right.
Rotimi loved the song, and then he did that little clip looking for us, and like. So, I mean, when around 4 a.m., found so many calls
From who?
at different people, like Facebook, people on Twitter are shouting at me.
Shouted at you?
They're like, "Yo,
Like,
it's
literally.
not the time to switch your phone off." The people who have my number, they're like, gee, it's not serious. It's not the time for a phone to be off. But that was like late. It was like 11.
Who are these rich people who always have Zesco at their house?
Can you imagine that? So, yeah. Then we started talking about it.
With who?
With Rotimi.
So how did he hit you up? On WhatsApp?
Yeah. WhatsApp through Ngu. Yeah. So WhatsApp made a group, and he was honest. He just said, okay, came across this song through Ngu, obviously. I love it, and I wanna hope on it. Like,
If you watched him on Power, I would not trust him.
Yeah.
Drew. Yeah, it's Drew.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh, Virgin, you know him as Drew.
Oh, from Power.
Yeah.
Or is Drew in Power?
Would you trust him?
and he's on the Shy now.
Is he on the Shy?
Yeah, he's
I
just
I
hopped
love the
out.
Shy.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 seasons of the Shy.
I think he's
Wait,
in the season 4.
oh, serious.
Yeah,
Wait, where's it? Is the
that's
Shy?
what he's
That's
working on
big.
now.
That's bigger than Power, in my opinion.
yeah.
The Shy is on Netflix.
Because
So-
the Shy is HBO, isn't it?
Yeah, it's HBO.
Or HBO. Okay, I was watching.
That's massive. You need to watch it.
Yeah, it's massive.
And you get HBO now.
Massive.
Gosh, the things we need to get nowadays. Showmax, Netflix,
Is he in the Shy now?
Apple.
Yeah.
And-
Season 4.
Have you seen the first 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Is that the kid, the black kid with the afro? Is he in the later season?
No, the one who had like a friend with the
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I don't think he is now. I think he left.
So he
Have left around like the end.
So has he? Have you guys done the song with Rose?
Yeah, song's done. Was supposed to drop on the day. Unfortunately, our former president passed on, so we had to move it.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah,
So it's still pending.
still pending, but should be out this week because now
Because load shedding has been extended for what, 9 more days?
Yeah,
Load shedding. Did you just call it load shedding?
Did I say load shedding? I said load shedding.
Yeah.
Stop, please rewind. I said load shedding.
National morning. You disrespectful piece of ish.
yeah, load shedding. It's crazy.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There's too much going on in this country.
Load shedding is lads.
so unfortunately, or when we already put it up, like we already told them to change the dates. After we were told it's like 7 days,
Right.
so we pushed it to this week.
So it's going to come out either way.
There's right now the train's moving, so
Come load shedding, come national morning, it's still coming
it
out.
has to, because now we can't with the platforms again, you can't really just tell them to change the date again. Because they already had like so much playlist support
Was it big
Audio Mac and everywhere, Spotify,
Apple Music.
Apple Music, everywhere.
Okay.
So even with artists like him, those are curated artists.
Yeah.
And we are just like, so with them you have to get permission even
From his label.
From his
a
label.
real like record label.
yeah, and then they have
Excuse
even
me,
Apple Music had to Apple Music had to also allow it, because he's a curated artist, like I'm saying. So we're trying to, if you put someone like that as a primary artist, Apple Music has to check in with them, because that way you avoid having like fraudulent releases.
You didn't catch the shots that this guy gave, did you?
What was
I don't. Oh, the real record
He
label.
said, "Oh
No, the real cow record label.
No, I understand.
no, you should not understand.
No, most
You have got a real record label, Jay. Man, don't let this guy diminish your
No,
accomplishment.
what I meant was, okay, Jay, tell me something. And
I'd say a major. You meant to say a major, because those are majors like Empire, Warner Music,
Universal.
Those are majors.
What's the record
And then
labels?
we have he's with Empire.
Wait, Empire, like Empire the series?
No, not that one.
With Lucian Lion.
no, not that one. I used to think so as well, but like it's Empire.
That's one is Cookie, huh?
Yeah.
Cookie Lion.
Cookie at these days, bro.
So Empire is owned by Gazi, some guy from America, and they've done a lot of work with the Afrobeat artists like Fireboy. But these guys do joint ventures. So like Fireboy was under Olamide, then Olamide signs his label to Empire.
So everybody goes with.
Yeah. So whatever they're dropping drops under the Empire umbrella. But then they're not in charge of what you do as an
I can imagine how the splits look.
for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually like it's usually good because
No, it can be because then the splits are, because now they're being dissected so many ways.
Or when you're under someone who's under someone.
Right.
Yeah. Most times it's like depending on how you negotiate things. The label might just own. Might say, okay, we're giving you money up front, the advance.
Yeah, who owns the
route.
publishing?
With Empire, you own it. You do a split, rather, but you own
Who
most
owns
of
your
it.
Who owns your publishing?
I own it.
So what's that looking with Rotimi coming onto this project? I mean,
Okay.
there's properly structured
Yeah.
systems there, but this side, no.
Um,
How's that working?
there we had to send a split sheet with everything written down percentage wise, and it has to be looked at by a lawyer from this side and from that side. So yeah, that's how this.
How are you feeling about this? Like when you drop the song, do you really feel more than just the hype that's gonna come with it? Do you feel you're gonna cash in proper because of the American way of doing things?
Yeah, because I see this comment a lot where they say no, these guys are just trying to use, you know, you guys and the like. But then I look at it like an American stream means or amounts to so much more than like maybe even 100 Zambian streams. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You know, if you have 1,000 views, that's why you see a YouTuber from America can just hit 500,000 views, and his life
Changes, yeah.
you know, changes. Even South Africans, because everything's well monetized and the like.
Right.
So you'd say if you're able to hit 100,000 American
Views
or streams, listens, doesn't even equate to almost 1 million in Zambia.
I really, really, really do hope that you make awesome money and you see lots of success. That's one thing that I absolutely hope people that are talented like get your just due.
Appreciate.
You know what I mean? Do you have a video that is going to come with this?
Well, the video is only going to be with me, and I actually traveled to Zanzibar.
Yeah, time we spoke, yeah.
Yeah. But due to scheduling conflicts with the big man, as we said, is on the shy now. You can't really just hands him off the set and tell him to go shoot something. So
what were you doing in Zanzibar?
I was shooting the video with Ario, obviously, the other artist on the song.
You're shooting the remix with Rotimi.
We had plans to just go shoot our video. That was even before Rotimi hopped on it. So we're just trying to see how else we can fuse it in. But yeah, we shot some amazing stuff.
Why Zanzibar?
Sorry?
Why Zanzibar?
In the song,
the reason?
In the song we mentioned
We would take you Zanzibar.
So it was like, well, we might as well do it.
Wait, when did you know?
2 weeks ago. No, not that. Yeah, that's
terrible weather.
There.
Yeah.
No, it's proper.
Now it is?
Now it is, yeah. But you're right. That one of the reasons why we even had to move it a bit to later was around that time it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we went there, we found like the rain just
stopped.
Yeah. But it did like
it's dirt cheap though. Like especially on the off season.
On the off season is the best.
So like now?
Now it's back up.
Now it's back up.
Because they have the moon
when is off season?
And they like
when I went.
Early in the year.
When did I go?
When's off season? Like early in the year, right?
Which side did you go to? Nungwi, is it? Like
Nungwi.
Yeah.
I lived at Nungwi Dream.
Stayed.
So yeah, that's where I stayed. What did I say?
You said lived.
Yeah. You know what's interesting?
Nungwi is fire.
Zanzibar has got its own president.
Yeah.
And yes, also part of Tanzania.
Yeah, and part of you need to have like the travel.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, bruh. Listen, did you pay upon arrival?
I did it before.
$40.
Yeah, I need to do it quick.
The visa to get to
the travel insurance.
But then if you break a leg or something, don't you get like 100,000?
Break a leg?
Nah,
exactly.
Well, we just left it there. Imagine how much they baked the whole year. Eh?
That's precisely what I'm saying.
But for insurance works. They always make money.
So many.
But there aren't too many.
The gamble.
See, I feel like they get so much tourism. They're like, even if we charge niggas $40,
they're still gonna come.
And the $40, by the way, is for Africans or SADC. It's per region. Because if you're American or if you're non-African,
you're paying more.
It's more.
Yeah, should be why that lady said she wanted to go back to the UK. I don't know. But that's crazy. No, when we arrived, we showed them the funny thing that they sent. We went through, but there was a lady who came with insurance from the UK, from her bank.
So they did
like slow. That's all.
We want our money here. So
she wants to go back.
She was there on a phone call, talking to her people. Like
over $40.
I don't know how much they charge her, but then they said, "Bruh, it's."
Was she white?
Yeah, she was, but she paid. She had to.
You have to pay. I mean, when you see that
It's
blue,
like going back.
when you see that blue water,
$40 that one.
white
900
sand.
kwacha.
Yes, it's really not bad. At least if it pains if you don't know about it.
Right.
You just arrive
And then
and
you just arrive and then they're like,
So how was your stay in Zanzibar though?
amazing.
We
You know,
were in Nungwe.
though we were working, yeah,
You were in Nungwe.
Nungwe Beach.
Almost 2-hour drive, wasn't it, from the airport?
Long. Did Nungwe, went to, forgotten the other side. But I like to go back to enjoy.
So what?
Zanzibar is that big?
Not really. You've actually almost driven
The whole
right
island in
across
2 hours.
the entire island.
Yeah, but they're spaced. I feel there's just too much space in between the
There is.
yeah.
There is.
In between
you
the what?
see a lot of like parts and
But you can tell there's a lot of poverty there.
that's true.
You can tell there's so much
So
poverty.
There's
most,
like
all of what we see mostly is just the beaches, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What people post. So inside there, it's terrible.
That's the way I hang
different.
out.
Mm.
I go, because I remember when I got there,
Mm.
I had a little scooter.
Okay.
And literally you ride 15 minutes from the hotel where I was staying, like right into town where everybody hangs out and parties and chills. Man, you can literally tell how it's night and day.
I feel like there's again there's just so much comfort with them though. Don't you feel that? Like they're not
They're chill.
they're so chill. They don't feel that pressure. I feel from what I was looking.
They don't want more.
They're comfortable, like the massage and they're like they're just like
Yeah.
it's fine.
Walking.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
content.
And
Fulfilled.
wait, I want to show you something. I want to show you something.
It's crazy.
I was walking on the beach.
the same
and-
Nungwe one.
No, so not Nungwi, but it's the same coastal line.
Okay.
But I went further up to there's another hotel. I forget the name of the hotel, but you know when you can. I want to show you this. You know when you can literally tell what's about to go down. I saw a white lady
Mm-hmm.
speak to a waiter.
Mhm.
5 minutes later, there were 3 big Maasai dudes who came. And I saw her and those 3 niggas walking into the hotel. Wait, hold on. My curious ass took a photo of this. And I said, I know what's about to go down. Do you see this?
It's like a contract in discussion.
No, this
It looks like the
There's a contract being discussed here.
yeah, like this is how we're going to correct.
I know what's about to go down.
But yeah.
So from that point, they all stood up and went to the
All
hotel.
stood up and went with her into the hotel.
Nice.
We've heard about these. And East Africa, Kenya, apparently is like the hub of these activities.
Okay.
Kenya, yeah.
So just fly out.
There's a lot of old white British women,
Gabon too.
yeah, dashing to Kenya, Gabon, Burundi.
So now here's a question. Because the government knows that this is prostitution what's happening here, which is why these old white women are coming here. They should know this, right? Now, if hotels are benefiting because they have to stay somewhere,
They have to stay
if the government is also benefiting because there is an
Everybody's
inflow
casting a blind eye to it. Yeah.
of foreign currency, would they curtail or block it if they're actually seeing a direct investment into the economy?
Everybody's seeing those.
Though it's immoral.
Yeah. They're going to cast a blind eye to it. Yeah.
because I think the fear of it being like something that's happening on the low also helps. I feel.
And you know what's the crazy? I forgot one part of the story. You know what the craziest thing is? She had a husband there. But the dude got up and left.
Hey, crazy things happen in this world.
Crazy things.
If they're happening here in Lusaka, what about Zanzibar, where people are on holiday? You know what I mean? I mean, just your stories on the streets. Things I don't want to delve into right now.
What have you heard?
Just stories.
What streets are you hanging out, Kalenga?
Streets of Facebook and WhatsApp groups. Well, here's
I
stories.
thought you said you're never on social media. You're always surprised.
Yes, I just say WhatsApp. Yeah, WhatsApp groups. You pick up things like, this actually happening here. Like, dude, you'll be shocked. and I don't want to talk about it.
So what crazy story have you heard?
There's things I don't want to talk. I don't want to expose people in my WhatsApp groups. Yep. Moving on.
Yeah,
Dude.
that was amazing.
I remember when I came to the shop.
Yeah.
Let me just plug his dad. They run a solar.
You've done that already.
Yeah, Jaluka.
Just say the name.
Jaluka.
What's the name of the
Jaluka Innovations and
Jaluka. Oh, what's Jaluka, man?
it's my,
Jack?
Yeah, me and my dad's names.
What is your dad's name? Luke?
Jack Lumbeta. Kafukwila. We share the
Are
same
you
name.
the only child?
The other surnames, the Kafukwila is for my sister as well.
Are you the only child?
I'm the firstborn from my dad and mom.
So you've got siblings?
Yes, I've got a little sister. So from my mom, from my dad and mom, the two of us. But
Right.
from my mom, I'm the third born.
So who's the second born from your parents?
From as we were born, like me and
You
my
said from your mom and dad.
my
there's
mom
two
and
of
dad,
you.
there's two of us. Me
So
and
who's the second? You and your little sister.
little sister. Yeah,
Can you imagine how she feels if her name is not included in the company?
it is there.
Oh, he said the
That's
same
her
name,
name.
which is everyone's name.
Which is happy with his name.
It's everybody's name. She's there. No, but
You know, it's everyone's name, but it's more
the-
you because what?
she's in the shareholders as well. She's fine. She's an
How old is
employee as well.
How old is she?
She's what? She's 24. You're turning 24.
We don't know your sisters.
Turning 24 this year.
I brought up your
Just
dad
graduated.
because there's a time I was looking for inverters and stuff. So I remember they own a shop. So I go to the shop and I was expecting to find him alone. And the dad was sitting like behind the counter. And I told the dad, do you know how famous your son is right now? And the dad was like, oh, okay. And he continues typing away.
He's away. He's away.
Now he is. I think at that
Yeah, I
point you
think
didn't
at
know.
that point was just when it was picking up.
How's he away? Tell me like what has happened that has made him away. Like to him directly, not him seeing you on social media.
Okay. Yeah, relatives obviously telling him like, oh, how can we get in touch with Jack?
Relatives are asking how they get in touch with you. Is he protective?
Yeah, he is. Surely is. And he's always known though. When he came to the thing about the music thing is, most people didn't really know about it, to be honest. I've always been like quiet nerd. Even the people in high school they're still shocked.
I'm the same way about the podcast.
Yeah, so it's like I'm just I was to myself, shy, couldn't perform. That's why I was like more into like the production side of things those days. Then when I went to China, I was like, no one really knows me here. So even if I stumble on stage, no one really cares, and that's the only thing I could do. Class, music. That was like my only thing. Then football as well, but I wasn't serious about it. So they knew that I was into music. My mom also knew because I bagged her for headphones every time. But then when he really understood, like, oh, okay, this is something serious, is when he came for my graduation, in China, and I was told to, like, that they told me to perform at my graduation.
At graduation?
Yeah, like at the end of it all.
Did they pay you?
No,
I'm
I did
paying
for
for
my
nothing. If you're
for my class.
I'm performing for now.
Yeah, so he saw it and saw how like everyone like
Reacted.
knew the word and everything, and we had a conversation. Right.
I was like,
after
this
that.
is what you're doing instead of being in class.
No, he was proud because I've never been a problem in school. Never been like clean record everywhere.
Do you live with your parents?
Yeah, I live with my dad right now.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom lives in Ndola.
And I'm sure
Your mom lives in Dola.
Yeah, just before Ndola.
Why?
Divorce. Grew up in.
Who was the problem there?
I don't know.
Elson, come on.
That's a tricky one, man. But
No, you know, nigga.
I mean, growing up, obviously, I didn't like the whole idea of like, oh, why do I have to be here and be there? And mostly because there was such a huge difference in the lifestyles.
Who had more money, your dad?
My dad, because he's been an engineer for time.
Yeah.
So my mom, at the time was just starting with a teaching thing. So the situation where I go to from Kitwe, now I'll be going to like wherever she was, just on the outskirts, and it's like a total. It's like different, you know. Maybe there's no electricity there, and like those days, and then you come back from such to like a private school, and your friends are talking about their holidays and now you're like, I was in the yes, I was in the States, and then you can't even pitch in. So growing up, I didn't really like it, but then I think it shaped me into the person I am because I
Rounded
appreciate-
you.
Yeah, I love it.
Creates a balance, actually.
So much because now I understand how it is, and to have like so much and then have so little, and then so that's why most times I'm just
That's a perfect answer.
yeah. Right.
A lot of kids coming from homes like it's not even one home, it's two homes in your case. We'll talk about it damaged them in the way.
Yeah.
Your parents splitting up. What did that do to you or for you?
Yeah, growing up was interesting. You know, I wouldn't say rough because I mean,
How old were you when they divorced?
I was really
4 or 5?
grade 2 or something because
So like
I was still
8.
going to school. Yeah.
So you're in one home one day, next
Yeah,
day
just
2 homes.
things shifting, arguments here, there. And then you start seeing relatives pull up, and then it's like, okay, what's actually cutting? Then you start going to the court. Yeah, it was quite serious. Correct.
Well, did that shape any decision in you wanting to get married? Like, if they are going through this, I never want to get married? Or that never had any impact?
I don't know, maybe, but I would say it also just made me understand like how important it is to have someone and like raise kids with them rather than like being in a separate situation. So for me, I would say the aim is to, be in like one home whenever I get married.
So what do you take your girls at, man? And it's just staying with your dad. What do you...
Don't worry, I don't take girls anyway.
Yeah, what you say? Say it loud. Say what you just
Take them anyway. I won't take them anywhere, man.
I'll be watching the comments very closely after. But you forgotten.
No trust. It was like, I'm very like cautious. I'm going, listen. Showstar told me of a very good Airbnb in Makene.
We could be laughing. You've met me with someone before, don't?
Have I? Yeah. Wait.
Copenhagen. I remember it said what's up to you.
I remember. Were you with somebody then? Oh, snap. That nice chick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like, but you're not dating.
Nah.
So was that a fan? Tell me about it.
No. Not a fan. It was more of a friend.
And big shout out to Thomas, Copenhagen.
Yeah.
We will have his wife on the podcast soon. So this person says okay, they did not. Oh, so the apartment is called Danslim.
I saw him post that. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently they actually offer a driver to come and pick you up.
That's serious.
Like from wherever.
Yes.
Airport.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
That's nice, man. That's nice.
So you with your Mercedes, let's drive there, and then you give them the address to your goods.
Why?
Why are you laughing?
Tell the single guy. I'm telling you. Oh crap! Nice, Dan. What?
You've heard? I knew you've been along.
Just in case. Ask him for a friend.
That's it. Exactly.
Ask him for a friend. I know something.
You are not gonna kill me, nigga. I refuse. What the hell is wrong with you? Notice how this nigga passively takes interest.
God been dying.
How do I spell it? So when I get to my kidney,
No, dude, come on. Just want to help out. Should I start here?
1 week.
coin pops up when it's talking about Airbnbs. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm back. I don't know if I answered your question though. It's about how it shapes.
Yeah. You didn't quite finish that yet.
You did have a really nice chick.
Yeah. I sure.
Is she single now?
I hope so. I'm so. I don't know. I haven't spoke.
Was she a fan?
Nah. I've known her for time.
You've known her
For time. Like,
so the fame doesn't get to her.
nah. One of the
Also, you still answer my question.
Never.
You said what?
It's still answering my question.
Let me go.
Let's check.
Land this.
You cut it short as usual.
Yeah,
But anyway,
really some fine.
Yeah, I would say it didn't damage me.
it didn't disturb you. I mean, you're 8 years old. There's so much going on.
Grew up with it, so I was like, okay, this is how it is. But then, like I said, I took the positive so much that I can't really.
Like, did your parents take the time to explain to you what was going on and what the consequences were gonna be?
Nah, people do that. Like,
I mean, we're not gonna be in the same home anymore.
Zambia.
I don't know.
Now we just saw a change, but it wasn't like a rather like a violent type of change. It was very like gradual, and then obviously my parents couldn't tell me what exactly was happening. But you have aunties, you have. I grew up with my cousins as well, and they just ran you through it. Like, my cousins speaks like a lot of Bemba, so like, I'm watching Kosafi, like, like, and then I'm like, what has happened, boys? What do you mean by that? But then he would always like tell me, even when I'm having like these points of like not knowing what's happening, he would tell me like, oh, don't worry, this is just how it's supposed to be. You just focus on school. If you need anything, talk to me as like my big brother.
Who did it hit harder between you and your sister? Or you both?
I think I could be because I moved. I felt the transition.
Okay, got it.
You know, I saw like, okay, we're growing up together. And then for my sister, she was born like slightly. Wait, that's a good question, because I think when she was born, it was when things were a bit tense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what she grew up into.
And then, but she was with my mom most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, because like she was a baby.
Mm.
And yeah, I feel for me, maybe I would.
You saw the good and the bad.
I need to sit down with her maybe and just get.
Are you guys close?
Very.
Okay.
That's my best friend.
I'm sure she feels proud mentioning your name everywhere she goes nowadays, eh?
All the time.
Oh, that's my.
Do you guys look alike?
Very much.
Do you look like your mom or your dad?
I think I look like my dad.
Yeah, you look like your dad.
I depends. Like growing up, I looked like my mom a lot.
I've never not looked like my mom.
Now I see
100.
I see my dad.
You've always looked like who?
My mom. I'm saying I never not. He's saying like he looked like his mom at some point. Then at some point,
I'm confused who I look like.
Yeah, we've seen your dad before. You look like your dad. Look, I'm not seeing your mom. I need to see you. Show me a photo of your mom.
Well, look for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
dope, man. I really hope you come into more success with Brotimi coming onto the song and making more money.
I'm rooting for you. Anything that I'm able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been talking to K Plus for some time, and it feels good to be here.
That's your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw your mom Ford Ranger day.
I mean, maybe like this side.
Yeah.
Like this side. I feel I see the lower half of his face.
Yeah. I think you and your dad walk the same. You actually look a bit more like your mom, I think, without the gap in the teeth.
Oh, yeah. She's got a massive gap in her teeth. I was asking, so like, does your sister or anybody in your family get annoyed the way my son does? I've taken my son to a food market, a toll mall, and people stop you for photos. He gets annoyed.
My friends, like that, bro. We can't walk with you in the club. Like, just
you find it's cool with you, but your friends are the ones that
throw it. And they're like, bro, come on. Like, they don't even like walking with me.
Is it jealousy, do you think?
I think it's just I genuinely like talking
to people.
So
you stop with
I enjoy the interaction. I don't think it's reached a point where it's like, no, please.
They want to have you to themselves.
Yeah, for now, friends. And my friends.
I can imagine how it is. I can imagine, because I saw a clip where Chris Brown said, whose phone is ringing?
That should be mine.
I saw a clip where Chris Brown said, do you have to take it?
Sorry?
Do you have to take the call?
I'm not too sure. What's name?
It could be your dad. Maybe it's your curfew.
No, it's not like that. Sorry? Cronies. Okay, nah. It's the other guy on the song, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where Chris Brown says he has to sneak out in the middle of the night and walk around in the street just so he still feels human.
Now, can you imagine what life for Michael Jackson was?
Yeah.
I was about to even just go local and say Yo Maps.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
But then the one time that I ran into him, and this is no dig at him. I typically buy my dinner from Simply Asia at Woodlands.
Mm.
I know I'm the only person who walked up to him and spoke to him.
I think Zambians also have that.
Yeah, there's love there, but like when you go to places like Kitwe, I think it's different. The love there is different.
Wait, Kitwe?
Yeah.
What, they mob you?
I'll say mob, but there's like a maybe it's because they don't see me there as much as they see me.
Maybe.
Like,
Have you ever had like a crazy fan moment? When
Can't think of any right now. Maybe as we go, I'll remember one. I think I shared this with you. Indian chick takes off Nike Air Force Ones, quickly buys the marker. She wanted me to sign on her sneakers. Indian girl.
you are not that famous.
She did it. And you know, even the time I was signing, I was like, I don't think I'm.
Oh snap!
I don't think I'm that famous.
Something similar happened to me. I think I told you. I'm driving to Ndola, and then I stop at the Total gas station in Kabwe.
Right.
Because they're not allowed to take photos. They said, "Are you able to sign something for us?" They were actually watching the podcast. I think I took a video, like when I walked in and I heard that the
That happened to me before as well, yeah.
Right. Oh, that's
You just walk into people watching. I hear my voice, I'm like, "Ah." And then you find people watching the podcast. And they're like, where's your sin? I'm like, that question.
all the time. Or even me, all the jazz.
Yeah, as well. Somebody was like, I'm not going to say it because you guys have complained about it so much in the podcast. I'm not going to ask where Elson is.
Oh, have you ever had anybody give you money?
Because of the podcast? No.
You know
Because
how-
of DJing, yeah.
You know how grannies, whenever you'd go to your grandma's house,
Right.
it would be a secret. She would shake your hand and she
Oh, yeah.
don't tell anybody. Why did grandmothers do that? Don't tell anyone. This is
And then you find the everyone.
everyone, and that's the same.
Don't tell anyone.
Like a secret.
Yeah.
Bowls of feast, and then just gives you. It's happened to me a couple of times, and I'm like,
So Eli doesn't like people stopping you.
he hates it.
My kids are different. You know, my kids, I think when I'm with them at the mall, they'll be observant. People will be stopping me, greeting me and whatever. And who knows, I'll stand, take photos, talk to people and whatever.
quickly.
They will not say anything. We'll get into the car, drive back home, get out of the house, unpack whatever we're shopping, whatever. Get in the car, start watching TV. The oldest one will be like this. Daddy, are you like famous?
What's actually
Like
going
the whole way, you've been just wondering. And she'll sit quietly for like a while, just trying to digest. Why were people stopping my dad?
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that they think that every other one of their friends' fathers is the same?
I think they used to think that, but I
Or
think,
do they realize that their father is different?
I think now that they've grown old, especially their teachers keep talking about it, they've realized, the teachers only ask about my dad. You know what I mean?
I remember watching this interview, John Travolta, where, because he's got his own plane
Plane, yeah.
that he parks at the front of his house.
So the kids in the kids' classes thought,
No, it gets interesting.
Right.
So there's one particular time where they got onto a commercial flight. The one kid turns to the dad and says, "Why is everybody else on this plane?
What's happening?
What's happening, Dad? Who are all these peasants?"
on this flight.
So it'll be interesting to see the transition when they actually do realize, because at some point they might think, well, every other dad is the same.
Yeah, you know? Now, the older one, I think, figured it out. Like I said, because the teacher keeps talking about it, say hi to your dad did this, your dad said this, said hi to your dad.
Wait, did the teachers speak about you to the daughter that your dad said what? On the podcast?
Yeah, they'll just talk about maybe, maybe if it was a good episode, they'll tell my daughter about, I saw your dad on this episode. So I tell him I said hi or whatever. So I think she started figuring out, like, I do something that puts me in the public.
So when the daughter passes on the message, is your wife there?
Sometimes, yeah.
And your wife knows the said teachers?
Yeah, but it's a guy. So don't worry. Dude,
Yeah.
Rotimi came to you, but who would you want to go to? Like, what's your dream feature right now?
Wizkid.
Wizkid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wizkid, Davido, Brenna, anyone in that like Afrobeat space. Yeah.
baby is
It's amazing. I'll play for you guys.
with who?
After the
Ice Kid.
Rotimi.
Oh, okay. So after this, right?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. What did I want to say? You know the whole 6 degrees of separation. Where you literally have one person between you and Wizkid. Rotimi.
Yeah.
He most likely has Wizkid's number. So you don't have to think far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know about the 6 degrees of separation, right?
He can run me 12.
You're always 6 people
That
away
you're
from what
always
you
6
want.
people away from any person in the world.
Okay. That's interesting.
So think of anybody, even Trump. You are 6 people at most away from it.
Because even with the Ice Prince thing, it was like literally just someone.
2 calls. Usually, in this day and age,
Someone was just playing the music.
6.
He hears it. Asks, where's this guy from? He's Zambian. Okay, I like the song. Send it to me. Let me give you a verse. So it's
So Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy.
Boy.
No females on that list.
Ira. Actually, that was too good. Ira,
Ken's.
of course.
So basically Nigeria.
But I would say, reaching the top of the list would be Wizkid, Nasty C. Let me just add Nasty.
I think that's just more attainable, quicker.
I've met him a few times,
than
and
Wizkid.
he showed me so much love.
Yeah.
No IQ2, no Chef on that.
Hey, listen, he chose who he chose. I wonder why Nasty's career did not, because he was positioned to be that dude. He was signed to Def Jam, right?
Yeah,
But in America, it just imploded.
I think it's him finding himself in between, like the balance. That's where it gets tricky sometimes.
Right.
Like, what if I start pandering to one market? Because like Def Jam were trying to prop him for
The American market.
the American market, and then his South African side started feeling a disconnect.
Right.
That's why only up until the verse with AKA, the
Did
Lemonade
he
verse,
really?
That was
Then the
Lemonade,
vibe-
right?
yeah, and they felt like, oh, this is our guy now. Like,
That was
saying
hard.
Zibiza, bro.
That was
So technical. Yeah, I feel now he's in a place where
It's I really want not the podcast. I think we're having him on the 26th.
now when he comes through, please let me know.
Wow.
That's
Not-
crazy.
Not time and time again, before Nasty C went, he'd be on podcast after podcast saying, Nasty should not go to America. This deal is going to finish this boy. He would say that over and over. And he'd give so many reasons. And we're going to have him this month, and he's going to explain some of these reasons.
it's-
And
it's
also,
interesting.
Godflow
Heavy.
was my introduction to Nasty, and I was like, jeez.
I've
boy's
been
sharp.
listening to him from Hell No that time because it felt nice to see someone young doing it at that level.
Yeah.
'Cause I was pretty much.
Are you guys the same age?
He's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
Nota actually told Casper Nyovest to sign Nasty C. And you won't believe why Casper refused.
Because of his eyes?
So Nota tells Casper Nyovest, sign this boy. This boy is something that someone actually need to have in your label. I think just before Nasty went to America. Casper refuses and tells Nasty, if I bring that boy to my label, he's going to outshine me at my own record label. He's going to outdo me. He's going to look better than me. And Nota tells Casper, this boy is going to outdo you either way, regardless of where this boy is. It's better he
You might as well make money from him.
Exactly what Nota told. Casper just said no. He refused.
It's tricky to sign to an artist. All right.
It's tricky to what?
To sign to an artist, an active artist.
Guys,
I feel-
I will give you one person who never let fame
Get in the way.
get in the way of him making money. Dr. Dre.
Oh, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, who?
He was more in the production side, to be honest.
But he was an artist too.
yeah, true.
But when he saw he signed M, and that white boy did
and Eminem.
fire under his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at how much money,
Well, I mean,
I think
if
in
you look at-
Africa,
right? If you look at the
Olamide is
trickle down, because now through Eminem there's 50, and Dre's making money from that, and from 50 there is the Game,
yeah, there's so much.
there is Lloyd Banks,
There's so much.
there's
The
right,
Reggie unit.
right, the whole G unit,
Yeah,
and
no.
who at the top is making the most money from all of them? A white guy called Jimmy
yeah,
Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine.
It's all scrap, man. Who's talking about the white guy controlling the industry? Oh, Chris Rock, your guy. Yeah.
That's it.
Gotta tip my hat to the white man.
Always.
Dude, anything else that you thought we're gonna talk about in this podcast episode that we haven't touched on?
I think we've It's been an interesting chat for sure. I learned one or two things as well. I learned about the cow farts and the like. I can.
There's something that you can mention on your first date.
It's a nice
It's an icebreaker.
You know,
Do you know that cow farts contribute to global warming?
gets too quiet.
But just don't use it on dinner.
cow
date.
farts.
Oh, what?
Don't use it at a dinner date.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you spoke about Diddy for a second. Did you see that Kanye West showed up to court?
No,
Yeah, he did. He did.
there's a podcast I listen to every night that gives me updates, so I'll listen to it.
Are you
tonight.
following the Diddy trial?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not fully, but I'm
But some
seeing the
updates.
news, yeah, as it comes out.
And so can we put bets as to if he's A, is he going to be found guilty or innocent? B, if he's found guilty, how many years?
The defense hasn't
It's fine.
started yet, have
It
they?
doesn't just say.
No, they haven't.
Tomorrow. It's tomorrow, right?
Like bringing their own witnesses?
Yeah, because it's
No, they
not in
haven't.
prosecution. This whole
Yeah.
It's starting tomorrow, or something like that.
think
Right?
so.
The defense.
Oh, no.
So who can they bring?
Yeah, honestly.
Because they damn sure ain't bringing Diddy.
Imagine if Mr. Bentley comes and says all these things were lies. I was always the Diddy. That could tip the scales of this court case, don't you think?
Because that guy's just going quiet, bro.
That's my point. Where is Mr. Bentley? Mr. Bentley was in every Diddy video. He was always opening doors for Diddy. He was always a Diddy.
And that dude was apparently always high. Did you know?
Mr. Bentley?
No, Diddy.
Yeah, you heard the testimony from that Jane Doe chick.
Yes.
Yeah, she spoke about how I used to always bring drugs and whatever.
And he used to move around with a bag.
That chick's
Of
the
drugs.
Jane Doe chick that said they're not mentioning her name in court. Yeah, she did say I used to carry the bag. I would fill it up. I would actually organize the
That's
freak off
crazy.
parties. And then the question everybody's asking is,
I just
you say he abused you, but he never tied you to any pole. Yet the option to leave at any time, you never left. Why?
I think she also just saw what was happening to people who are messing with him. Like
So she's
for
scared.
example, Kid Cudi.
And
Like his car donut. Like you see stuff like that.
Molotov cocktail. Listen to how
You see something like that, like
listen to how this guy was like a comic villain. Kid Cudi says he receives a call from Diddy. And Diddy says, I'm in your house and you're not here. Where are you?
yeah,
That was
yeah. Here's all.
I remember that.
And apparently when Kid Cudi got there, not only was his dog locked up in the bathroom, but he says his dog has never been the same since. The dog is jittery,
It's committed issues now.
so whippers.
That wasn't it the same thing that inspired him to now break up with the girl after seeing the
Yeah.
I think that was in the last straw.
Right. And
I
apparently
was like, you can blow the car up, but
his
the girl.
Christmas presents had been opened.
Yeah.
I remember Kid Cudi actually saying, I thought I was in a relationship with Cassie. Then that thing happened.
Yeah.
Then she calls me and says, Diddy found out about us.
Yeah, then
What do you mean? What did he say?
Her boyfriend, like a
like I
a
said,
side died dude. You know what I mean?
But hey, that same thing happens in Lusaka. You're dating a young chick and you're broke. You're both broke. But she has her nails done every week. And you don't give her a dime for it?
Yeah,
you have to know.
Hair done. She's got the latest iPhone. Nigga, your days are numbered.
Straight.
Every time she's in the kitchen cooking for you, she's giggling at her phone.
Who's that?
It's my mom.
Yeah, the man live with it.
I've been following that trial, and man, well, I know it's gonna be found out.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna
It just
be found.
depends on now how long and the like, right?
Yeah, it just depends on how long now, because he turned down the plea deal that he was given.
Okay.
The plea deal gave him how many years? 20?
20, I think, because if he's found guilty, he'll get life.
Life, yeah. Yeah, RICO cases.
But now with RICO, they might actually take everything that he owns.
That's good.
But from what I hear, a lot of what he has is in his mom's name.
Hakimi way.
And he's apparently making money from his private jet as well. Did you hear this?
No, I didn't hear about it.
He's leasing out his jet. From the time that he's been in prison, he's made $6 million.
So
You have to
you
eat.
can still afford those legal fees any day.
You have to.
Shop
The
that.
legal side and then his masters and everything. I mean, it's okay.
But a lot of...
But they take all those things away.
Yeah,
Yes, they do. Because remember, here's
Oh,
the thing.
bad boy.
When it comes to RICO, if you've used your company bank card or anything to pay for any of those,
That's how they caught Dirk, by the way.
very cool.
Dirk,
Lil Durk.
Lil,
Lil Durk.
yeah, he was caught because of he used the.
Oh, wait, for the metaphor hire thing, right? Oh, that was
That was-
insane.
That was very dumb.
Did you see the video
Of the
of the assassin, of the guys that he
The
and he
cops,
kept telling the people to say use cash.
Yeah, I think the thing that pushed him to also just do it was the pressure from, you were saying you're not sliding for Vaughn, slide for Vaughn, his friend, or whatever.
Yes.
And then he caught the bait.
He bought the plane tickets for the assassin
He's using
a card. He hired the car for the assassin using a card. And I'm like, do you not watch movies?
slow.
Not only do
But
they
that's why I think he was acting out of like impulse or anger. It was just like, yo, let's get it done. I'm tired of people thinking we can do it. Because obviously he was trying to drop a song after that. Because that's what he's always like done. When something happens in the streets, he'll like report. Oh, we got.
But you know what? Normally, you know what typically happens, especially with these young artists, because I started to see the trend with Takashi 69.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, because if you saw how Takashi used to be really loose with his mouth, they're affiliated to a gang.
Yeah.
Right. The artist basically generates money for the gang, finances the gang.
That's true.
And in turn, they get protection from the gang.
That's true.
So they're affiliated to the gang, and what his primary role is to finance the gang and give them money, etc.
I think that's how Ghana also like beats the case somehow. So it's like, I'm signed to the label and I'm not. He had to denounce
and
the
Ghana's
gang.
lawyers now did his lawyer.
Yeah, he had to denounce the gang and
Yeah.
like say, no, I know nothing about the dealings, obviously.
But did you know this though? Brian Steele,
No, I didn't notice it.
the guy who got Ghana off, is the same guy who did his lawyer now.
helps him, I guess, isn't it?
One of the major highlights before we go on the Ghana case, you probably weren't following it.
No, not at all.
I don't know if you were. Wait, don't get it on your phone. Listen to how crazy this is.
You're actually canceling a call.
The judge. You know when the judge wants to castigate or say something to one side of, like if the judge wants to say something to say the prosecution, he has to say it in the presence of the defense as well.
Yeah.
So he would call them both to his
To the bench,
chambers,
yeah.
and then he would say 1, 2, 3. So apparently there was a phone call that happened which was relating to the case in the chambers, and the prosecution was there, but the defense wasn't. Then the defense caught wind of it. I'm sure you heard about it.
Yeah.
Then on the day after, the lawyer to Ghana said, you and the prosecution had a meeting about this. There was a whole fight between the judge and the lawyer. And do you know what the judge was saying? Who told you? I want to know who. So he did not deny it. But now he wants to know. So now this guy was now saying, no, this is a mistrial.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that's how he got off.
Yeah, that was very small.
It's been a real episode. Jay Trigga, thanks a lot for coming through, bro.
Bless up, thanks.
And like Elson and I said earlier, wishing you all the best with this project. And
big year ahead.
but you know, the pressure you're gonna have now is to produce another big hit. How you've really thought about that?
We have, like I said, it's part of an EP. Shout out Ari again. We have like a joint EP coming, and I feel we do. The thing is, people are seeing me as a new artist, which I understand.
Like an overnight success.
Yeah, which
don't
I
know that your
understand, but
overnight has been what, 6 years?
6 years thereabouts.
Your night has been that long.
So that's 6 years of learning, 6 years of research, 6 years of like building the brand itself.
Right.
6 years of refining the art. Isn't it like what they say, $1,000? $10,000 into your craft. So it's something I've been working on, and yes, it has happened a bit later than I would have thought. But I've been ready, and I'm ready to take people on this journey for sure.
All the best, bro. Man,
What's up?
Another great one brought to you by Brothers
about the
Mocktails.
Well, loved anything you thought it would be? Was it underwhelming?
Nah, it was interesting. Like it's a conversation. I like
That's
it.
that's
I
what's up.
prefer it. I would rather have that than like.
To be honest, okay, you know what? I'll tell you when the
For the next episode, remember to click on that subscribe button and you can still vote for us Zamtil's social media.
Oh yeah, when are the awards?
July? Yeah, so
Did you
keep
see
this.
Stumbeko say that this is vote buying when we said we're just gonna give the money back to the people that voted? Well, call it vote buying. Actually, J Trigga, please look into your camera and get people to vote for us. So on Zamtil, it is what?
Star 9595 hash. There you go.
Star 95.
95 hash.
So please vote for that's
So-
what class of the Zamtil Awards.
Yeah. What it do is your boy J to the Trigger, and I'm here to tell you to vote for that Z podcast for the Zamtel Awards. Star 959. I don't know.
Star 9595 hash.
Star 9595 hash. Vote for that Z podcast. Give us e-way.
We need that isolated.